Melissa. In this video, we are finally going to get to the bottom of what is the difference between taking an Epson Ecotank and converting it for sublimation versus using an actual sublimation Epson printer. So there's actually quite a bit of a difference, and while a lot of people will take something like an Epson Ecotank 15000, put sublimation ink into it, and then print on it calling it sublimation, while it technically is, you are missing out on a huge part of what actually comes when you get an Epson true sublimation printer like the Epson F570 or the Epson F170. So the difference is actually, while it's huge, it's very small and minute to see, and it's in the print manager itself. And so I'm going to show you the differences between the Epson Ecotank print manager and the sublimation print manager, and you're going to see why your colors might be coming out not so exactly what you expected. You might also notice that after a little while, the print head on your Ecotank is not working correctly, isn't printing correctly. It's needing to constantly be cleaned. Well, that's because that print head is not meant to be used with sublimation ink. So let's move over. I'm going to show you the differences here so that you can see what you're missing out on and why a sublimation printer from Epson, a true purpose-built sublimation printer, is actually ideal for sublimation printing. Okay guys, so here we are. So here is just a PNG, and I'm going to show you what the print manager looks like when I go to send it from my to my Ecotank. Okay, so I'm just going to go to File, Print, and this would be the same print manager that shows up for no matter what program you're using. Okay, so I am on a Mac, so this is what it looks like. So let's say I'm using my Ecotank. I have a lot of printers here, as you can see. So this is my Ecotank ET-15000. What you will see is this would be the same no matter what Ecotank you have. So fill in the blank here, 15,000, whatever Ecotank you have, this is the print manager that comes with it. So you do get quite a bit of options here. And what you see is you have media, you can change, where your paper is coming from. You can tell it, you want best quality. You can change the layout, how do you want a border, no border, whatever the case may be, paper handling. This has to do with the order and different things like that. And then you've got watermark and printer information. Okay, so here is the information. Again, this is the model 2800. It's an Ecotank. Okay, all right, now I want you to keep those in mind. So what we have, I'm just gonna collapse these so we can see real quick again. We have preview, media quality, layout, paper handling, watermark, printer info. However, if I change this to my Epson F570, which it says SC500, it's a 570, that is the true Epson sublimation printer, I now have slightly different options here. So it doesn't seem super obvious, but preview, layout, paper handling, all the same. You don't have watermark. That's okay, we're gonna get that in a different spot. But we do have this thing here called printer options, and that is what is very important. So if I expand this, I then have 3 more options. Now, these are the actual sublimation print manager settings. So if I click color matching, it's going to open up another option for me. So I like to use color sync, and then this is where I get the color profiles. So let's say I'm gonna just, I wanna print a transfer so that I can put it on a shirt. This is the textile one that I would pick. If you wanna look for another one, they have other ones here as well. So they would also have one here, should be for rigid, which is hard goods, but I almost always use textile. So you can add those there. The other thing you have is Epson color controls. I typically do not use these. I use color sync, and I never allow anything to go by automatic. Okay, so let's just pick this one. Select the color profile. We did that, so I'm gonna click OK. Then I'm gonna go to printer settings. So again, I'm gonna click this option. Now, this is nowhere to be found if you have a 15,000. You're not going to have this option here. You're not going to have any of this. So paper size, same as paper. I'm actually going to have it fit to the roll, okay? So I'm gonna do that. My paper source is the roll. Media type, again, I never allow it to pick the media type for me. I always set it. So this is, again, where you've got the option of textile or rigid. I'm gonna have it, make sure that I match it to the other one. And then select the target. Okay, that doesn't have an option there, color mode also, but we've got more settings here if we want to pick which one we want. And then we've got this option here, level. So is speed your most important option? Is quality, or is max quality? So if you want the finest detail, you can pick max quality and high speed. That's a good mixture. You basically have like 10 different combinations here depending on what you pick. So if you want quality but also high speed, you can select that. If you want quality but you don't want it to print super fast, you can uncheck that. And then when you're set, click OK. And then you've got one more option here under advanced, and this has to do with how you want the paper to be cut after it prints. So do you want it to be cut off the roll? Do you want it to print a page line? So let's say you're printing like 4 different jobs at once. Do you want it to put a line in between each job so you can, more easily distinguish one job from the next? Save paper roll. So let's say you're using Silhouette Studio to print and you have your page set up to 24 inches wide by 24 inches long, but your print itself is only 24 inches wide by 8 inches. Well, if you don't want it to print those extra between 8 and 24 inches blank, you can click Save Paper Roll and it'll cut right below the image as opposed to feeding out extra paper. And then again, you've got even more options here, color density. So while this little option here for print options is very easy to overlook, this is the key to getting the ideal and best prints when you are printing sublimation. And this is only available with the Epson F570 or the 170. I'll show you. I'll go to my 170 is at my studio, but I should be able to show you as well. So you see, you have it here too. Now the reason you don't have that other option, I forget what it is even called. Let me look back at that. The reason you don't have advanced is because the F170 does not have a cross cutter. So that's why you only have 2 options with the F100 or F170, but I'll look at that again so it can show you. But you can see here again, you have the options here. Color sync, you pick the profile that you want. And even if you wanted a different profile, you have the options here to pick that. This is not available if you are just using any old Ecotank and using those drivers. Okay, so that is why it's so important that while it is very, very easy to convert a regular old Epson printer, there are many reasons, from the printhead not performing because it's not meant to be used with sublimation ink, to not having the correct print profiles. There are many reasons to actually use a true purpose-built sublimation printer if you are planning to sublimation print for anything. And also I will mention to you that right now the F570, while it is a 24-inch sublimation printer and it is on the more expensive side, it is over $2,000 typically. I will tell you that they have just released a quote-unquote LITE version, which drops the price several $100s. It doesn't change anything except basically what comes in the box. So instead of 2 full sets of ink, you get 1 set of ink. Instead of 2 rolls of paper, you get 1, and you do not get the Print Edge software, which I'm going to be completely honest with you, most people don't end up using anyway because they have other design and software layout programs, and you can get to the print managers, as you can see, from any program, including I'm literally just in my preview option. Okay guys, all of the information is in the description below. If you are looking for a true sublimation printer, I do recommend the F570. I just feel like I can do obviously a heck of a lot more than the F170, although I do have the 172, and it's a great little sublimation printer. It will limit you as far as like what you can do size-wise, but certainly if you're looking for smaller type items, it's a portable, the price is right on that one, and you do get obviously access to all of the sublimation drivers.